be, her, us, a. Here's Book 1, The Seed, Awakening the Cycle, fully written out in detail and structured in the 3-6-9 pattern for readability, flow, and alignment with sacred numerology. It captures the themes of transformation and growth while providing actionable steps for readers. Book 1, The Seed, Awakening the Cycle. Every life begins as a seed. Every journey starts in the soil of struggle. This book is a guide for those still in the soil. It explores how pain and challenges plant the seed of transformation. Each chapter delves into the steps needed to grow roots, ask meaningful questions, and begin the journey of personal and spiritual awakening. Part 1, The Soil, Chapters 1-3. The seed does not see the sunlight, but it trusts that it is there. Chapter 1, The Root of Pain. Pain is where it all begins. Like a seed buried in the earth, it's the pressure, the darkness, and the weight of the world that cracks you open. But this isn't where you end, it's where you start. 1. Buried, but not broken. The soil feels heavy, dark, and endless. Pain isolates us, makes us feel forgotten. But like the seed, we are not dead, we are waiting. Her truth, I thought I was buried, but I was planted. Reflection, what feels like the end might be the beginning. 2. Cracking open. The first step of growth is painful. The shell of who you were must crack for something new to emerge. Her truth, the breaking hurt, but it set me free. Reflection, what needs to crack open in your life to let growth begin? 3. Nourishing the roots. Pain is not just darkness, it's also nourishment. It gives us the strength to grow deeper. Her truth, my roots dug into the soil of my struggle, and it made me strong. Action, write down one painful experience and ask, what did this teach me? Chapter 2, The First Spiral, Why Me? The spiral begins with a question, why me? It feels like the wrong question, but it's the first step in the journey. Growth begins in the smallest curve, spiraling outward with every question you ask. 1. The first curve. The spiral starts with a question, why me? It feels like the wrong question, but it's a necessary step in the journey. Her truth, every question became a doorway to understanding. Reflection, what is your why me question? 2. Learning from struggle. Struggles are teachers in disguise. Every hardship carries a lesson. Her truth, I stopped asking, why me? And started asking, what am I learning? Action, list 3 lessons you've learned from a challenge in your life. 3. Asking better questions. The spiral grows as your questions evolve. Why me becomes, what's next? Her truth, my growth began when I stopped asking questions that kept me stuck. Action, replace one limiting question with an empowering one. Chapter 3, Curiosity is the spark. Curiosity is the antidote to fear. Where fear builds walls, curiosity opens doors. Every what if is a spark of light breaking through the darkness. 1. The flame of what if. Curiosity breaks through the darkness like a flame. Fear says stop, but curiosity asks, what if there's more? Her truth, fear told me to stop. Curiosity asked me to explore. Reflection, what are you curious about but too afraid to pursue? 2. Breaking fear's hold. Fear limits us, but curiosity expands us. Exploring the unknown leads to growth. Her truth, when I chose to explore instead of fear, I found the light. Action, take one small step towards something you're curious about. 3. Lighting the way. One spark of curiosity can illuminate an entire path forward. Her truth, curiosity didn't just save me, it lit my way to freedom. Reflection, where can curiosity guide you next? Part 2, The Sprout, Chapters 4-6. The sprout reaches upward, trusting in the light it cannot see. Chapter 4, Connection to the Hive. No journey is meant to be walked alone. The hive mind, the collective strength of those around you, is your foundation. 1. The hive mind. Growth is not a solitary journey. The hive mind connects us to others, offering strength and wisdom. Her truth, I thought I had to do it alone, but the hive showed me another way. Reflection, who in your life can you turn to for support? 2. Building trust. Connection requires vulnerability. Opening up to others is a sign of strength, not weakness. Her truth, trusting others taught me to trust myself. Action, share one part of your story with someone you trust. 3. Rising together. The hive doesn't just connect us, it amplifies our growth. Together, we rise higher than we could alone. Her truth, we rise by lifting each other. Reflection, how can you contribute to the growth of your hive? Chapter 5, Self-Acceptance, the Sacred Center. Self-acceptance is the foundation of all growth. To grow outward, you must first grow inward. 1. Finding the center. The spiral's power comes from its center. Self-acceptance is the foundation of all growth. Her truth, I stopped trying to be perfect and started embracing myself. Reflection, what is one part of yourself you struggle to accept? 2. Sacred scars. Our scars tell our story. They are not flaws, but sacred marks of growth. Her truth, my scars are proof of my survival. Action, write about one scar, physical or emotional, and what it taught you. 3. Rooted in self. When you accept yourself fully, you create a foundation for infinite growth. Her truth, when I accepted who I was, I became who I am. Reflection, write this affirmation. I am sacred, I am enough, I am infinite. Chapter 6, Compassion, the Expanding Petals. Compassion is the language of the soul. It begins within and radiates outward like the petals of a flower. 1. Forgiving yourself. Compassion starts within. Forgiveness is the first act of self-love. Her truth, when I forgave myself, I felt free. Reflection, what do you need to forgive yourself for? 2. Radiating outward. Compassion expands like petals. When you forgive yourself, you can forgive others. Her truth, compassion healed me and connected me to others. Action, perform one act of kindness today for yourself or someone else. 3. Strength in softness. Compassion isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. Her truth, I found my power in gentleness. Reflection, where can you choose compassion over judgment? Part 3, The Seedling, chapters 7-9. The seedling breaks through the soil, reaching for the infinite. Chapter 7, Leadership, the queen bee role. To lead is to serve. A queen bee nurtures her hive, trusting and empowering others while standing in her purpose. Leadership begins by claiming your light and using it to illuminate others' paths. 1. Guiding the hive. Leadership is about guidance, not control. A true leader empowers the hive to grow collectively. Her truth, I am not here to control. I am here to guide, to inspire, to uplift. Reflection, how can you guide others without trying to control them? 2. Purposeful leadership. Leadership is rooted in purpose. When you lead with intention, you create a ripple effect of growth. Her truth, my purpose wasn't just mine, it was a beacon for others. Action, define your purpose as a leader. Write it down and share it with someone you trust. 3. Standing in your light. To lead is to own your power and share your truth unapologetically. Her truth, I wasn't afraid of my light anymore. I knew it was meant to shine. Reflection, what is one way you can embrace your leadership today? Chapter 8, The Spiral of Growth. Growth isn't linear, it's a spiral. Every challenge returns in a new form, but each time you are stronger, wiser, and more prepared to rise. 1. Growth is cyclical. Life's challenges repeat, not to punish you, but to remind you of how far you've come. Her truth, when the same pain came back, I realized I wasn't starting over. I was spiraling upward. Reflection, what challenges have you faced more than once? How were you stronger the second time? 2. Rising higher. Each loop of the spiral takes you higher, even if it feels like you're going in circles. Her truth, the spiral showed me that I was growing, even when it felt like I was stuck. Action, write down a past challenge. What did you learn from it, and how did it help you grow? 3. The upward curve. The spiral isn't just about returning, it's about rising. Every loop brings you closer to your infinite potential. Her truth, I was climbing, not falling. I was becoming, not breaking. Reflection, where do you see yourself growing upward in your current spiral? Chapter 9, The Seed Awakens. The seedling has broken through the soil. It has grown roots, embraced its spiral, and now reaches toward the light. This is the moment of awakening, the realization that you are becoming her. 1. The first bloom. Transformation isn't the end, it's the beginning of a new chapter. The first bloom is proof of your growth. Her truth, I didn't just survive, I bloomed. Reflection, what is your first bloom? What proof do you have of your growth? 2. Gratitude for the soil. The soil that once felt heavy is now the foundation that supports you. Gratitude for your struggles transforms them into gifts. Her truth, I thanked the soil for the strength it gave me. Action, write a gratitude list for the challenges that shaped you. 3. Becoming her. To become her is to embody your truth, your growth, and your infinite potential. It's knowing that your journey has just begun. Her truth, I am her. I am infinite. I am becoming. Reflection, what does becoming her mean to you? Closing reflection for Book 1. Book 1, The Seed, Awakening the Cycle, is not just a story of growth, it's an invitation. It's a call to reflect on your own journey, to see your pain as potential, and to awaken the seed within you. This is where the journey begins. Her final truth for Book 1. You are not buried, you are planted. You are not broken, you are growing. Trust the spiral, trust the light, trust yourself.